So we've got a self-reflection card. So we'll pull that and we'll talk about it. Wild card. It says, what is one truth I've recently come to terms with? Write it out. I'm not going to write it out. I don't need to write it out. But one thing that I think I've really come to terms with lately, and like I think that I didn't want to admit this about myself, is that I am not good at follow through. I am good at ideas, but I'm not good at following through with the ideas. And I think that I used to think that I was. I used to think that I was like, oh, I will be the person to close out an idea, whatever the case may be. And that's not true. So I am not good at following through with ideas. What that means for me, though, is when I have an idea, when I have something that's important to me, I have to work extra hard at making sure that I can see it through. That's not going to come easy to me. I know some people, like, once they have a plan and they put that plan into action, like, that's all there is to it. They're like, oh, easy peasy. I'm going to do that thing. That is not true for me. And so I've recently come to terms with that because even something that I love, like streaming, I realize like it takes me a lot of effort to continue to do it. Not continue to do it, but like put all the work into it that needs to be put into it, that it deserves. But I will say that having come to terms with that truth, like knowing that about myself, knowing that follow through for me is not going to come easily, allows me to focus my energy in a little bit more intentionally about what I need to do to make sure things actually do get seen through to completion. So for me, it's not enough. Like I can't just trust that like that's just going to get done. I have to make a very conscious effort to get it done. So what that means is I usually introduce more structure into my life around these things and develop a plan to get it done. And some people might think that's really regimented and really rigid. And like, yeah, to a degree it is, but it's also what I need to get something done and to make sure that I give something the attention and effort it deserves. And, you know, I wish that it were different for me, but it's not. And I think, you know, we have what we have. And I think knowing how to work around that and to work with that is actually a really good skill, you know?